You're listening to the Two Jakes Talk Real Estate Podcast, bringing you a no fluff, no BS look into the world of real estate. Everything you need to know and all the things you don't. Now please welcome your hosts, the Two Jakes, entrepreneurs, authors, marketing consultants, and real estate experts.
Let that play for a second. I'm liking that.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy hashtag Hustle Friday. Or did I call it Friday Hustle?
It's pretty smooth.
Got money on the mind today.
Sure do. Every day.
It's a nice lead in, man. This actually leads us right into our topic for today.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, we're gonna reach out and talk to a hard money lender, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for that.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah, talk about it.
Well, working through some, now that we're in escrow on a few deals.
Yeah.
Working through the bugs and.
It's always fun.
Yeah. You know.
Keeps it challenging, man.
Hey, I tell you what, if like they always say, if it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger.
Right.
And every little thing we run into sharpens up our skills a little bit. So.
Well, that's it. Did you see my post this morning, right? On Instagram?
Yeah, I liked it right away.
So for folks who don't follow us on Instagram, I think I post some pretty cool stuff on there, so you should go check it out.
I agree. That was from our Spartan adventure.
Yeah. And actually, did you get that quote from that, or did you come off the top of your head? What just doesn't...
No, that's I don't know, I've heard it.
No, I said the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity to grow. Hashtag Friday Hustle.
That's right.
That was a fun time, actually.
Yeah, we had a good run, except for the swamp part.
Yeah,
that was pretty gross.
Yeah, and my knee giving out on me. God, I felt such like a wimp. It sucks, but
well, Tough Mudder is going to be at Gibson Ranch instead of Tahoe.
That's great. I'm going to be in Italy.
Yeah,
but doing the Tough Mudder.
But I hear that it's the same type of ground as Van Vleck Ranch.
Yeah, so you'll probably be rolling around in horse shit.
Don't really like that, but
just avoid the ponds that have murky,
no ponds.
Weird, I don't know what those things are swimming around.
Gross.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
A horror movie.
What's else is going on, man? We had our softball game again. We hadn't talked about softball for the last 2 weeks, but
it's not worth talking about.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. We've been getting our butts kicked, man.
I honestly think we're getting worse as the weeks go on.
It sure feels like that.
Because the first couple games we did good. Now we can't get past. What did we have? One run last time?
We had two. We broke the goose egg.
But we were at 4 for a couple weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I let off the rally because I was the one that broke the goose egg.
Yeah.
Me limping from base to base because my hamstring still hurts from the week prior, or actually 2 weeks prior. Oh well, it's fun. It's all good.
Yeah, we have a good time.
All right, let's dive into our topic because this is actually something interesting, and this probably won't be for a lot of people that listen to the podcast, but it'll be for people who are kind of interested or maybe breaking into the investment market. And maybe there's other reasons why you'd want to do a hard money loan.
Yeah, I think some people are a little intimidated by just the sound, hard money loans.
It is intimidating. I got to be honest with you. When I first looked into it with a couple of my clients, it was intimidating. It's like, where do you start? What's the terms? I mean, what am I getting myself into? Because it's a complete 180 of what traditional lending's like, right?
Yeah, most of them are based on the property rather than the individual. So it's kind of a different approach, and it works great for some people. If you have good credit, it probably wouldn't work real well. But we'll talk to the source.
Yeah, we got a guy here. His name's Craig Cox. I'm not too sure. Honestly, I don't know who he works for. If it's an independent company,
we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll talk to Craig and let him talk about the hard money. Let me give him a call here.
Give him a buzz.
Clear my throat.
Hello.
This is Craig.
Craig Cox, what's up, buddy? This is Jake Guerin and the other Jake with the Team Worley here. How you doing, man?
Great, Jake. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for joining us on our podcast. This is a podcast that we've been doing for quite a long time now. I think we're on. I think this will be episode 39 or 40.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But hey, buddy, one of the topics we've been wanting to get into is hard money. And since we have a client that's currently working with you, we thought we'd tap you a little bit, get you on here, and see if you had a moment to explain a little bit about hard money and who your company is and what you guys do. You have a moment for that?
Sure.
Cool. So why don't we start off and just let us know a little bit about yourself and who you work for?
Okay. And the name of my company is Greenbrier Holdings, and I've been doing private money personally since 2005. So we've been through a downturn. We know what makes sense, what doesn't. We know what works and what doesn't. And are you guys looking for what our typical deals look like in and around Sacramento? Or
yeah, I mean,
so walk us through.
Yeah, walk us through a deal. It's like, and you can use the one recently they're working with Priscilla. So for like an investor, for instance.
Yeah, a lot of deals are distress sales. So REO purchases, short sales, like your Priscilla deals, a short sale, off market purchases, deals that are not on the MLS. And the typical deal is someone's buying a property for $200,000, and we lend them 70% of the purchase price, so $140,000. They put a little bit of money into it, and then they resell it for $270,000, maybe $300,000. That's a pretty typical deal.
Right. And then what's the way that you guys? How do you make your money?
We make our money through interest and loan fees. Really, for us, though, there is only one loan fee, which is the loan fee, which is 2%. And we don't, most lenders, it doesn't matter if it's Wells Fargo or a private money lender, they're going to require an appraisal. That's $400. But since we're local and we're licensed, we don't require appraisals for our deals that are local here, which saves people money. So like I said, there's only that one loan fee of 2%, and our interest rate is 9.99%. So typical.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty favorable as far as what
well, the thing is, the typical flip is going to be 4 months, right? So if an investor pays the 2% loan fee and the 9.99 rate, and they use that same money across 3 properties, each deal lasting about 4 months, that means they're making, if they made $30,000 per deal, times 4 deals, that's 100 or 4 months, so that'd be 3 deals. So $30,000 times 3 deals, that's $90,000. And the amount of money we make on that is pretty small in comparison to that $90,000 across 3 deals, which span a year, because 2% off the loan amount, which in this case we're saying is 140. That's 2,800 times 3 different deals. That's a small number compared to how much they can make flipping houses over the course of a year with that same money.
So what does a buyer's credit have to look like? Is that even a factor?
Most of the time we don't even pull a buyer's credit. If you have previous history with us, we don't. So maybe on the initial time we might do it, but each subsequent deal we don't pull credit on people on a residual basis.
So it's for the majority, it's based on the property's value, future value.
That's correct. Yeah, we actually don't look too much at future value. We look more at what's this property worth today. We take into consideration that you're buying it at a discount, and that discount's what we're looking for, right? You're buying it at a discount because the condition's poor, and that's what we're shooting for. I mean, if you call me with a deal and you say, hey, I want to use the private money because I want to rent a property, and you're buying a property that's already fixed up, that's something that we don't like that as much as somebody who is buying a beat up property at a discount and they're going to put some money into it.
Got it. And what is the maximum term for your loans?
Our maximum term is 2 years, and we actually don't increase the fees or the interest rate by giving someone a 2-year loan. But what we do adjust is the loan to value, because from 2006 to 2008, that's a 2-year period, and there's a big change in pricing there. So for us, there's more risk. So we're not as aggressive on loan to value as on those 2-year deals as we are on the 6-month deals.
Gotcha. And then walk me through, for instance, if someone were not able to finish their loan. I'm kind of curious on what the process is for you guys. If you're open to sharing that, as far as acquiring the property and trying to get the investment back?
Yep. So we've never denied anyone since 2005 an extension for a private money loan. And as long as the deal's progressing, so somebody's continuing to fix up the property or it's on the market, there's no basis for us it doesn't make sense for us to call the note due. We'd rather extend the loan. We typically give 3-month on property flips. We typically give 3-month extensions for 1% of the loan amount as a fee for making the documents and doing a little runaround. But like I said, we've never denied anyone an extension to date.
That's great. I mean, to me, that's probably the most favorable hard money loan I've heard so far that I've worked with, and I've worked with a couple. But you shot me an email one day on a property that we recently did for a client, and the terms looked really good. So I was like, well, let's call this guy up. And sure enough, I mean, it stood true what you said in your email. So that was pretty cool.
Right. Yep. Yeah. We represent ourselves exactly. And we actually will be more aggressive on loan to value in nicer areas. So if you have a flip in Folsom or Granite Bay or Roseville or Rockland, any nice neighborhoods like that, we're probably going to be at 75% loan to value. It's just the areas like the Del Paso Heights and the Oak Parks that have had a 300 or 400% run up in the last couple of years that we're not that aggressive on those.
Gotcha.
Sounds good.
Yes. And is there a max loan amount that you guys will lend on?
It really is a case by case basis. There's some commercial deals that we've had some larger loans, right around $1 million. But I would say that just due to the nature of the greater Sacramento area, it's difficult to find deals in excess of $1 million. So I'd say that's probably the most limiting factor. Yeah.
So walk me through real quick, what's the process if someone's interested in acquiring your services as far as from an investment standpoint? Obviously, take me from the time they call you. What is the process for them?
Yep, my number is 916-505-5663. Best thing to do is give me a call. And the first two things I'm going to ask is if it's a flip or a rental, and if it's a flip, what the purchase price is and what the property address is. With that information alone, typically I'm able to get back to people in 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most, and let them know what the loan to value is. And that's what everybody wants to know. What's the minimum I need to put down in order to make this investment work.
Great. And as far as the individual, it sounds like it doesn't really matter. It's really focused around the property, not the person.
That's right. And the more experience that you have, if we're on our 10th deal, we're going to be more aggressive than if we're working with somebody for the first time. But the one thing that distinguishes us from everybody else is our combination of price, speed, and make sense lending. There's nobody that has the speed, price, and make sense lending combination that we have.
Yeah.
What kind of a close of escrow? What's typical?
So on the typical deal, somebody's going to call me and then I'm going to say, hey, everything looks good, and go ahead and send over the application, and then I'll email title for a copy of the purchase agreement, the preliminary title report, and the settlement statement. And then once I have those things back, the application and the stuff from title, we make the loan documents the next business day. So it's very fast. So it's basically, we work as fast as everybody else does getting stuff to us. And once we have everything, the loan documents will be at title the next business day.
Wow, that's fantastic, man.
Yep.
Well, good, dude. Like I said, this is one of the topics we wanted to cover. So, just some of the research we've done and some of the other companies we worked with, you seem to have it kind of dialed in. So I wanted to give you guys a shout out and give you a chance to kind of, tell us a little about who you are and your company. So I know from my perspective, Jake, most of our investors that we're going to be working with here, we're going to probably shoot them your way, Craig. Just because it sounds really good.
Yeah, the fees are real favorable.
Yeah, well, you had a little taste of our response time too, Jake, and you had some specialized stuff that you needed, and we were on it for you.
You sure were, and I think the holdup right now is on the other side. So I mean, you guys I think you would have closed this thing out weeks ago if you could have.
Definitely.
So. All right, buddy. That's it, man. I just wanted to take a little of your time. I appreciate you taking a moment out of your day to kind of sit and talk with us real quick about it, because it's kind of one of those obscure topics that a lot of people are kind of curious about, but don't really know a whole lot about it. So I would encourage folks to reach out to us and reach out to Craig if you have some more questions about hard money.
Great. Thanks, Jake. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
Thanks,
buddy.
Craig.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
good weekend.
All right, you too. Bye.
He's a sharp guy, man.
Yeah, that's good. Those terms are real good compared to what I've seen out there too.
Yeah.
I see 3 and 4 points up front, 12%. So that's good.
So you know who just called? Alyssa Lozano. Should we call her back real quick?
Sure.
No, I won't put her on the spot like that. Here's one more thing I did want to talk about. I wanted to talk about VA loan. I got a guy here that's been chasing us for a while, and I've actually been following him on Facebook. He's a super nice guy, and he took a time to call me one day and kind of gave me his breakdown of his VA program.
Yeah.
I figured this would be a good time to actually reach out and talk to him too,
Let's hear about it.
because he's got a great program and he's super passionate about it. And I heard he's a rapper, so we'll see if we can get this guy to rap on the mic. Let's see.
It
what he's
is
up to.
Friday.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
people like to rap
feel
on
good,
Friday.
Feel Good Friday, man. Why not? Let's see if he answers the phone.
Dignified Home Loans, Matt Von Bergen.
Matt
There he
Von
is.
Bergen, what's up, man? Welcome to the Two Jakes Talk Real Estate Podcast. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you, gentlemen?
Good, man. we
Good,
just
good.
we just got done interviewing a hard money lender, so you're next in line, and I've been meaning to get you on here because you have a passion for VA, our vets out
Yes,
there.
sir.
So I wanted to take your time and first of all, thank you, man, for joining us on this. I think it's important. After previous conversations with you and hearing the passion you have, I want to share this with everybody. And folks who we actually have a pipeline of people who are potential VA buyers that would benefit from hearing about your program and hearing the type of lender you are, and the things that you do for VA for our vets. So, all further ado, buddy, can you tell us a little bit about Dignified Home Loans and then who Matt Von Bergen is? That's a cool last name, by the way.
Well, I appreciate the great intro, guys. Thank you. And thanks for having me on the show. So I've been doing mortgages for 13 years. Dignified Home Loans is a local direct lender out of Roseville. And, we do offer a number of different products, kind of everything under the moon, the one-stop shop. But speaking more specifically about the VA, it is a very strong passion of mine. And, people pick up on that. And it's, one of those things where I've, run across where, everybody can kind of offer a VA loan, but there's a lot of, misconceptions and information that borrowers aren't commonly educated with. And I found that not every loan officer specializes and knows all the intricacies and ins and outs of VA. And the ones that do sometimes lack the passion that's needed to get an offer accepted in a competitive purchase market like today.
Yep.
So, that's
Good
kind of where I
point.
try to, So I try to offer kind of both things as the expertise and the passion behind it, because fighting for your borrower to get the offer accepted is huge. And you guys can contest that as, sellers and, selling agent and a buying agent on both sides of the transaction sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, and Jake can talk to this as well, VA doesn't always get the shine that it deserves when sellers are looking at the different types of offers they're getting. Obviously, they're looking at the top down, which is cash, conventional, FHA, and then VA kind of floats at the bottom.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate.
there is a negative connotation with VA, which shouldn't be, because it's really no different than FHA.
Right. And then I know that just talking with you, Matt, there's some things that you guys try to do on your side to help really strengthen those offers. You want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, well, one thing that we do for every single VA purchase, refinancing across the board, just on our side, is we waive all of our lender fees. So we have a processing and underwriting fee typically in place for any standard transaction. That's $13.90. And then you do have an appraisal fee, which, those can be, $500-$600, depending on rush fees and different things, and depending on your area, that we also pay for that appraisal for our vets.
That's great.
So the only, cost that they accrue would be title fees, which can be negotiated in the contract. And, one thing that buyers aren't really aware of, first-time home buyers, is that it's not a fee, but it's prepaid items to set up your property taxes and the homeowner's insurance through the escrow payment on your monthly payment. So, there is some out-of-pocket expenses. It's not waiving everything, but everything on the lending side, which is nice. That's our way of kind of giving back to the vets and the VA community.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
What is your tip? Go ahead, man. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that, the big thing with VA and the awareness that's out there is, did you guys know that only 13% of vets have used their benefits for purchasing in the home buying process?
I didn't know that. Is that the number?
Yeah, 13%. So 87% are just either unaware or uneducated about, what exactly it takes to buy a home. And, that's where I want to make the difference and try to help people to understand that, there is options out there. And if you're currently renting right now, you may be able to buy a home with, 0 down payment, no mortgage insurance, and, potentially be a homeowner for close to what you own or rent with currently right now,
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I wonder what the hesitancy on a VA's part, if only 13% of them would take advantage of the benefits.
It's a lack of education, I think.
I think it is, because we like I said, I have a pipeline of people, and a lot of them just simply don't think that they qualify, and there's
Right.
a lot of delay on their part to reach out to somebody. I don't know. It's just I think it's such an obscure thing for a lot of people that they don't think the benefits is going to be good for them. I don't know. So maybe it's an education thing.
It is an education thing, and then also just going over and having a free sit down and knowing that there's no cost or obligation to sit down with somebody and get educated about it. And that's, they kind of think that they have to buy or that they're obligated somehow one way or another with a real estate agent or with a loan professional. And, it's not the case. We're out to just help people and educate them. And if they love our experience and they think that we're the professional to get the job done, great. But if not, we understand that as well. And we can't help every single person, but if we can make a difference and help the majority of the people that we have and tell them about the benefits, it's just a small step forward to try to give back to the VA community,
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. And then tell me a little bit about how did you get so passionate on working with vets?
Well, I've always been passionate. I'm a very patriotic person and giving back, just the community in general. But the VA is very underserved, and hearing the 13% stat, it was kind of alarming for me and a wake-up call. And, I heard that about a year ago. And so that's when, I really started focusing more on that side of the business and giving back. And, I've had some of my best friends personally serve, and I've actually lost a friend of mine in the war in Iraq. And so it's,
Touch close
I'm
to
impacted. Home. Yeah, no, it does. And it's, when you hear about the service or the underservice on the VA side, there's so many other parts that we can help. And home ownership is one of them, that, if I can make a difference in someone's life and give back to a veteran and their family, then, it just makes me feel that much better about my job and gives me that much more passion to go to work every day.
Yeah, it gives you purpose, right? And does this trickle down from top down from Dignified Home Loans, or is this something you're kind of spurring in?
Well, so it's from Dignified Home Loans, but, I was a part of, getting it in place and, let's do something to give back to our VA community. And, being a mortgage guy, I'm a numbers guy, so I always try to, figure out the numbers. And, another kind of staggering number that you can look at is that homeowners are 38 times more wealthy than renters. So if you think about that, if you want to build wealth and help a veteran, then, giving them home ownership is like one of the best things that you could do for somebody to help them long term, not just short term.
Yeah, I've actually had the joy of working with a few VA guys, and even though it was tough to get their offers accepted, it was just neat to be able to be part of that process and see these guys that didn't necessarily have an opportunity. They think they had an opportunity to get into a home and literally get the keys in their hand without putting a penny out of their pocket was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feeling. Hey, I was going to ask you real quick. One of the things on VA loans is you typically hear it's a 45-day escrow is what they normally ask, and because of the process seems convoluted, or it's going to take a little bit more time than normal than maybe an FHA. Can you tell me a little bit how you guys do things?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually a common misconception. In January, I had a VA purchase that I closed in 18 days. So. Yeah, it's very doable. It's just how motivated are the buyers and sellers to close early, right? My standard VA offer, unless they need to be more competitive, I write up 25-day contracts is what I tell the buyer's agent to go with.
That's great.
And the only additional item that really, you have to be aware of is it does require a pest report with a clearance of section 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
That's the one thing you kind of have to look at is, okay, is there pest work going to be involved? And, is the buyers willing to, entertain paying it, or, come some sort of negotiation with that. That's the only real, third party element you run into that's, can throw kind of a sideways curveball at you. But, the majority of the time, these newer constructions, the homes that are, accepting conventional FHA, multiple types of financing, the VA fits right in there with every single other offer. So like you were saying, people kind of put it lower on the totem pole, but let me ask you a question. I mean, as somebody that sells homes, right?
Yep, absolutely.
If I was a loan officer representing a buyer, and I called you on an offer that you had on the table with my pre-qualification, and I told you, hey, this buyer's, been at the job 8 years, W-2'd, low debt ratio, like it's just a screaming deal right across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, this guy is a veteran who served in the war, whatever the backstory is, the specific veteran they have. You can't tell me as a U.S. citizen that you don't hold a value to that part of the offer. So I think the part that people miss is that, they don't have a loan officer or real estate agent or people that represent that fight for them and say, hey, there's a value to that as being an American citizen. And I want you to know that when you're considering your offers.
No, and I think I appreciate that more than most because, when I represent the seller sides, I go through the different loan types and kind of the pitfalls of every single one of those. But I always tell my clients, if there's an opportunity to put a vet into a home and the numbers make sense, there's no reason why we should skew away from this offer if it makes sense. And I think the backstory is the key to everything. And I'm always looking. I like those agents that come with me with a story. Let me know who these people are, because then I can easily sell it to my clients. And sometimes there's emotional connection, and sometimes it's just simply an investor that's, look, the numbers got to make sense. If I'm netting what I need to net and I can close this thing quick and the VA guy can do it, then let's do it. It's pretty simple.
Right. Usually the only drawback for sellers is that clear 1 and 2. So if the house needs work, just might not work.
Right.
But I know for me, I wouldn't write an offer for a VA on a home that needed work.
No, and that's a good point.
Because I know it's not going to
work. And it needs to be said that if whoever's listening to this and whoever agent you happen to be working with, make sure that they are in tune with what's required of the VA, because I've seen it before where an agent will take someone to a home that will, obviously there's things that will not qualify, and they get head deep in this thing, and it only does the buyer injustice. So just make sure you're working with an agent that knows exactly all the things that need to be taken care of on a home, would I suggest.
Well put.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing that your expertise can come in with. And, having someone that does specialize and does have a passion for VA, it goes a long way on the real estate and on the lending side. So, I mean, if you can team up with somebody on both sides that represents and gives something back and knows what they're doing, that's priceless for vets. I mean, I don't think that a veteran should just use any real estate agent, any lender. I think they really need to look for somebody that specializes in it, because there's a lot of value to that, and knowing and learning, the easy way versus the hard way on a transaction. It's
absolutely
priceless.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. You feel like you're part of a team, that these folks are fighting for you just as much as you fought for them, right?
No, absolutely. And the cost of stress, too, people don't realize that. There is a cost of stress, right? So if I can give you more information and educate you more about the process, and you feel less stressed about buying a home, which is usually the biggest transaction that most people go through, I mean, that's priceless. And you have to put a value on that as well.
That's great, man. So tell me a little bit about Dignified Home Loans. Is this a direct lender? You guys are a direct lender?
Yes, we are a direct lender. What's kind of cool, and the reason why, one of the big selling points for me when they recruited me 2 years ago over to the company, was they are a direct lender, but they kind of operate like a broker. So brokers kind of can shop your loan around. They charge you a fee to go put it at XYZ bank, and they can check with all the different lenders out there and shop it. But the problem is that at the end of the day, they have to send the lending package out, and they ship it over to the lender. The lender gets it and underwrites it, and so there's that disconnect. Well, with a direct lender, it's that's the benefit, is that your underwriting's in-house, your processing's in-house, everything's right there. but typically you have a small, peg of, types of loans and, investors and types of products that you can offer. And if it either fits in the hole or it doesn't, right?
Right.
So my frustration at previous direct lenders was, I can't do this loan, I can't do that one. You end up turning business out the door. Dignified Home Loans has about 20 different banks and lenders that we can send the loan through, but we process it and underwrite everything in house. So we get the best of both worlds. We have the flexibility of a broker, but the strengths of a direct lender keeping the file in house.
That's fantastic, man. Hey, Jake, you have anything for him?
Yeah, let everybody know how to get a hold of you, Matt.
Yeah, so my direct line is 916-337-1242. You can call or text me on that number anytime. My email is Matt, M-A-T-T, .vonbergen, VONBERGEN, @dignifiedhomeloans.com. It's a long one.
Yeah, long and memorable. I'll put it in the show notes too.
Yeah.
Hey.
And you know what? And here's what I always like to tell people is,
Yep.
if you have someone that you're talking to, that's amazing. I'm very happy you have somebody, but you can always get a second opinion. And, the big thing that separates sometimes the good from the great is the way to explain things and the educational approach that some people take versus other people that don't. And I don't sell, I just educate and service people. And in doing that, I can focus on the customer instead of the product and process. You know what I mean? And
I know totally what you mean, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so that's one of my big pushes is just to help people and kind of give back. So, feel free to call me, never any cost or obligation. I'd love to just crunch numbers with you, have water cooler talk, whatever it is, just brainstorm ideas and just give you my feedback and what I would recommend if I was in your shoes.
That's awesome, brother. That's like a complete 180 from what the typical, is expected. So I appreciate that. Hey, so real quick, we met, I believe it was at the pool party that they do once a year at the, help me out here, Jake, Thunder Valley?
Yep. Thunder Valley.
Remember we talked with you?
Aloha Nights.
Yeah. And, and you said, we mentioned that we'd want to get you on our podcast. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
You also said that when you got on there, you'd rap for us. You want to throw down?
You're kind of putting me on the spot.
I know.
That's what rappers do.
We got some music. We're gonna do freestyle. Jake's gonna play some music and you go right to it.
You gonna give me a beat?
You got something for him? Do you do freestyle, man?
It's been years, but I'll give it a little rap. I'm not scared.
I know, man. That's what I love about you.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do anything.
You got a song for him, Jake?
Let's see what we got here.
I could throw something on. I don't put the poor guy in the spot. You can't hear it. You ain't even plugged in.
Yeah, no. Go ahead. Hit it.
We won't put you on the spot, but if you can rap to this song.
The thing is that I am a real life person. I'm very transparent. So, a lot of people appreciate that about me.
Yeah.
And just because I rap doesn't mean that I'm not a professional at my job at what
no,
I do.
You're actually a top-notch guy, man. And I think most folks, if they go out and do some research on you on Facebook and stuff, you're a hell of a family guy, too.
Well, that's what's most important to me in my why and why I do everything at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, we won't push you too hard on this time, but maybe next time we'll get a throwdown from you.
All right.
We'll have the audio hooked up. Yeah, you have anything for us?
Get a couple cocktails in me, and then I definitely won't.
Oh, that's a must.
Sure.
We'll get you on that one for sure. I'm gonna see you across.
Coffee, though,
I'm gonna see you across the room next time we're at a party or something. I'm gonna call you out.
There you go.
All right, brother. Hey, man, thank you for taking the time. I really, truly think that your program brings a lot of value for people, and I'm going to be pushing for it. Just to let you know. That. So you're top of mind today to call, and I've got a list of people I'm going to be reaching out to real soon, and I'm going to be name dropping you. So hopefully we can get some people you can take care of, because I'm with you, man. I think there's a lack of help for these guys that are they're serious about the process. They just don't know where to start. So this is it. This is a good way to start.
Well, start picking up the phone and calling Jake and, talking about it. And, if, they need financing, then they have someone else that they can start reaching out to next.
That's it, bud. All right, man. Hey, man, happy Friday. You guys do anything fun, exciting for the weekend?
Yeah, actually, yesterday was my daughter's 6th birthday, and tomorrow is my son's 1st birthday.
Hey,
so I got a joint birthday party tomorrow.
That's awesome, dude.
doing the little joint birthday party, some bowling over at Strikes.
Beautiful.
So it should be some fun stuff. And, it's kind of let my daughter pick out what she wanted to do, and that's what she went with. So
Good daddy.
Sounds
There
good.
you go.
Cherish it, man. They grow quickly, I can tell you.
I know 6 years, it seemed like yesterday. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
dude. I'm telling you, man. All right, brother. Thanks for the talk. I do appreciate it, man. If you need anything
Thank
from
you,
me,
guys.
anything from us, let us know. I'll send you an email on the show. You can share it with every people.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for the invite and for giving me a call. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, buddy.
Have a good weekend,
Take care,
man.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend. Take care.
He's a good guy. I like that guy.
Yeah.
What do you got here, Jake? You want to close this thing out?
Yeah. That's
So
time
that ran, 35 minutes, but again, we try to keep it under 30, but
It always goes like that.
Good stuff, though. Hard money lender,
Yeah, that's good information.
good VA information.
2 areas where people shy away from because they don't know, and they don't want to ask questions. No one wants
It's
to
a
ask
scary
questions.
topic,
so.
man. Hard money's scary. I remember when I first got in the business talking about hard money, I was like, oh boy, that sounds just too weird.
Yeah, it sounds like
For
they got
me.
you bent over a barrel.
But I've done some deals with hard money, and I got to tell you, that Craig Cox guy, he's sharp. I mean, his numbers look good. The fact that they can close and run the process as fast as they possibly can is pretty sweet.
And the fact that if you don't have stellar credit, you can still get
you
financed.
and I could do this.
Yeah,
do
you
hard
can
money.
do it.
We just got to find a house to do it on.
I know.
All right, so that's it. Unless you have anything else, Jake, if you need to contact us, you can reach out to us at Team Worley, WORLEY, at worleyre.com. Check out our new mobile site.
It's very nice.
Very cool, WRE.house. And keep an eye on our videos. We've been running on Facebook. We're trying to do more neighborhood stuff. I think we're going to be doing probably a market update here next week.
Yeah, it's good to touch every 2 weeks or so.
We'll probably
see
do
what's
a market
going on.
update podcast, and then we'll probably go out and shoot a video. And if anybody has any suggestions where we should go do a video at, we're open for that too.
Drop us a line.
Kick us down some music, man.
Right. See you guys.
Oh, finish it up with the music again, right? Hey, dude, you got $20 I can borrow?
No.
Thanks for joining us for the real truths in real estate. Visit us at tjakesrealestate.com for more information. We're out.
Let's call Alyssa. Pretend we're on the podcast.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's go eat something.
All right.